Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the founder of CSTGIA, bringing you week 25 of From Strategic Cyber Civilization to Strategic Cyber Sovereignty, Reclaiming Strategic Control in an AI-driven World. Over the past several weeks, as we've listened to these CSTGIA information sessions, we have transformed cyber capability into strategic leverage, established strategic cyber control, ensured cyber assurance, strengthened cyber endurance, advanced strategic cyber dominance, institutionalized strategic cyber permanence, and expanded cybersecurity into strategic cyber civilization, recognizing that cyber now underpins the system society depends upon. Now, in week 25, we ask the next defining question. If cybersecurity has become societal infrastructure, who ultimately controls the infrastructure that society now depends upon? Because in 2026, capability creates resilience, permanence creates continuity, and civilization creates societal stability. But sovereignty, well, that determines long-term strategic freedom. So the 2026 reality is that sovereignty is becoming a cybersecurity issue. Around the world, governments and enterprises are rethinking digital dependence. Questions once reserved for national defense are now being asked in boardrooms. Who owns our critical data? Who controls the AI models we depend upon? Who owns the cloud infrastructure? Where is our compute capacity located? How resilient are our supply chains? And can we operate if key technology providers become unavailable? These are no longer IT questions, they are strategic leadership questions. Recent global trends demonstrate why nations are investing heavily in sovereign AI capabilities. Semiconductor manufacturing has become such a geopolitical priority. Cloud concentration continues to increase. Post-quantum security planning is accelerating. Governments are strengthening critical infrastructure requirements, and AI governance regulations continue to mature across multiple regions. The future is increasingly being shaped by those who control digital infrastructure, not simply those who consume it. So the emerging risk is dependence without sovereignty. Many organizations have invested heavily in cloud migration, AI platforms, automation, digital ecosystems, and third-party technology partnerships, yet relatively few have fully evaluated their long-term strategic dependencies. Dependency is not inherently negative. Unmanaged dependency is. Organizations increasingly risk becoming dependent upon external capabilities they neither influence nor control. So the question is shifting from can we access technology to can we continue operating if that access changes? The next evolution is strategic cyber sovereignty. And it does not mean isolation. It means intentionally understanding, managing, and strengthening the capabilities that determine long-term organizational independence. Sovereign organizations intentionally strengthen critical infrastructure resilience, AI governance, cyber workforce capability, trusted partnerships, supply chain visibility, data stewardship, and operation decision authority. They recognize that resilience begins with strategic awareness of those dependencies and interdependencies. What strategic cyber sovereignty looks like today. It's not about owning everything. It is about understanding what must remain under your organization's trusted control. Sovereign organizations understand critical interdependencies, diversify strategic suppliers, build internal expertise, preserve institutional knowledge, develop trusted AI governance, strengthen cyber workforce pipelines, participate in standards development, and continuously evaluate operational risk, because strategic independence creates strategic resilience. There are 5 leadership moves that we need to make towards greater cyber sovereignty. One is to map critical dependencies, understand the technology, vendors, infrastructure, data, and workforce capabilities that are truly mission critical. 2, strengthen AI governance. Establish governance that keeps human accountability at the center of AI-enabled decision-making. 3, invest in workforce sovereignty. Develop internal talent rather than relying solely on external expertise. 4, diversify strategic partnerships, reduce concentration risk while strengthening trusted ecosystem relationships. And 5, design for long-term resilience, because continuously evaluating which capabilities should remain strategic adds to your organizational competencies. The workforce reality is that cyber sovereignty begins with people. Technology changes, infrastructure evolves, but organizations that continuously develop leaders, strengthen institutional knowledge, and invest in learning maintain long-term strategic advantage regardless of technology cycles. So the strategic implications for 2026 is that organizations embracing cyber sovereignty will better manage strategic dependencies, strengthen operational resilience, improve AI governance maturity, reduce supply chain exposure, increase workforce capability, build greater stakeholder confidence. And organizations that ignore sovereignty may become increasingly dependent upon technologies, platforms, and ecosystems beyond their influence. Week 22 reflection is to ask yourself, our week 25 reflection is to ask yourself, which technologies are truly mission critical? Where are we overly dependent on a single provider? Do we understand our AI governance risks? Which workforce capabilities must remain internal? And are we building resilience or assuming it? If these questions are difficult to answer, sovereignty has not yet been designed. So our week 25 action is to conduct a cyber sovereignty assessment. Select one critical capability, AI platform, cloud provider, cyber workforce, operational technology, critical supplier, data environment. Then ask, does your organization fully understand their interdependencies? Have you identified alternatives? Is your governance life cycle clearly defined? Is institutional knowledge documented? And what is one single action this month that you could take that would strengthen long-term resilience? Then take that action, because tomorrow's resilience is built on today's intentional decisions. Our closing thought for today is protection creates security, resilience creates stability, dominance creates advantage, permanence creates continuity, and civilization creates societal trust. But sovereignty determines who retains the freedom to choose the future. In the cybersecurity environment of 2026, organizations that lead will not simply defend digital infrastructure. They will intentionally build the strategic independence required to sustain innovation, trust, resilience, and national competitiveness for decades to come. Again, this is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the founder of CSTGIA, wrapping up week 25 of CSTGIA 2026 from strategic cyber civilization to strategic cyber sovereignty, reclaiming strategic control in an AI-driven world.